This is Adam, and I've had a lot of people asking me lately about real estate investing stuff, like what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. And instead of doing my usual walk through a house video showing a nasty house and a fixed up house, I thought I'd do something kind of showing you how I get to that point. And it's a way that you could make a couple $1,000 a year doing not a lot of work. I mean, just having your eyes and ears open to what's happening in your neighborhood, you'll be able to make some money. And it's called wholesaling real estate. And I love potato chips. Tostitos Hint of Lime I love those. So I'll have Tostitos makes them and sells them to a grocery store. They wholesale them. Then a grocery store sells them to retail consumers like me. As an investor, that's what I'm doing. I'm selling houses to retail people, but I'm buying them from wholesale people. And in the last year, this is a list of all the transactions that I bought from wholesale guys. I bought one from a guy named Luke that I paid $117 for. He had it for $105, made 12 grand. Andy, I bought one from him for $70. He had it for $60. He made 10 grand. This is a great one. Jonathan, I bought it from him for $180. He had it for $115. He made $65,000. Martha, I bought one from her for $180. She had it for $175. She made $5,000. So in the last year, I've paid $208,000 to people for telling me about houses. And a couple of these guys had purchased them and then resold them to me. But a lot of them, they just had a contract on the property. They happened to find out about a house and then they got a contract. And I'm not an attorney, I'm not a tax guy. You should talk to them about their respective issues. I'm just telling you about my experiences of what I've had. And in order to get the contract, you can just Google Utah State REPC. That stands for Real Estate Purchase Contract. And you can find it on Google without a lot of trouble. Then you have this tool. It's a very powerful tool that you can go, and when you hear about somebody that wants to sell a house, and I'm going to be doing several videos in this series, and this is just kind of our initial one. We'll go into other ways to find houses later. This is just kind of your basic thing that you hear somebody that wants to sell a house, do some math on it and figure out what you could pay for it, or what a guy like me would be willing to pay you for it. And then you get it under contract. And in the buyer, you fill out that rep sheet of, if I were doing it and planning to wholesale it, I'd say Adam and or assigns, and then later on I would find somebody to assign that contract to. So when you're assigning a contract, it's like assigning your kids to do the dishes. You're like, kid, do the dishes, they're your responsibility. And when you're assigning a contract, that's all you're doing. You're saying, hey Adam, I got this contract, but it's your responsibility. Take it over, deal with it, and then when the deal closes, you get your money. Well, in addition to that contract, we'll have an assignment agreement saying, here's your $5,000 for this contract, here's your $65,000 for this contract. Think of what that could do for your family. What could you do with an extra $5,000 a year? Or I'm clear up to $65,000 I've paid for this stuff. Your wife, your kids, your husband, your friends, you could do a lot of great things for yourself by the time you could free up, vacations. I mean, this is a way you could pay for Hawaii. I mean, $5,000 would pay for a pretty decent Hawaii trip for you. So it's not a real complicated thing to do. It's called wholesaling, and it's just getting someone to agree to sell you a property that then you can assign that contract to somebody like me. I come in with the money, I pay them, I pay you. You don't have any money out of pocket. You've just made some money, pretty low risk, and you just need to have your eyes and your ears open, and you'll hear opportunities once you know what you're looking for, once you have a tool and you have that awareness. So thanks, and I look forward to sharing part 2 with you in another day or two.